Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality, Realness, and Entertainment in Color, doing a recap of Love Island UK Season 8, Episode 14. I'm your host, Chantel Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika Francis. How are you today, Tamika? Happy Monday.
Good. Happy Monday.
How did you feel about this episode?
I was pretty good with the episode until the foodie part that
So,
was unnecessary.
I mean, it's repulsive. So,
Yeah.
if people don't know what we're talking about, the challenge this episode was the baby bird challenge. It was called lip service, where they're transferring liquids from their mouth to their partner's mouth to a big martini glass. And I think it's gross, but like it doesn't bother me that much. Why does it bother you so much,
It's a,
Tamika?
there's no reason. First of all, it's a waste of food. Second of all, just you know what? Biggest of all, they told us that they would not be doing this
Who
season.
told you that? When did they say
There
this?
was an article that said that they wouldn't be doing these challenges anymore
And why?
because they're disgusting. And so I thought we were all on the same page here.
Well, you're not on the same page with the Islanders because, as gross as it was, they said it's the most fun challenge that they've had so far this
Oh,
season.
gross.
Um,
But you have Dammy who picks his nose and eats it. So there's that.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind it that much, but maybe it's because it's the tourist in you that doesn't want your food to be bothered.
Pretty much.
Hilarious. But let's go back to the beginning of this episode. I didn't really understand how it started. So we left off with Dammy and Amber sitting down beside them, and it was kind of a little bit of an awkward moment. Ekansu and Jay were talking with Dammy about not really seeing the spark there with Amber. Amber comes in, awkward. And then I didn't understand how the little kind of spat happened, and then Amber and Dammy walked away. So do you have any more insight for me as to how that transpired?
It felt like in trying to like get over the awkward silence that happened. Um, I don't know. Ekansu just all of a sudden like started a fight. That's how it came across to me. Um, because technically Amber walked in something y'all were kind of gossiping about her, but then she kind of turned it around that she had a problem with her. And it was like, but that's not what happened.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for being here. Jessica says Ekansu was mad because Amber was suggesting that Jay should talk to more, to get other girls. Okay. I mean, I would might be annoyed if like somebody that's my friend in the villa is like saying to the guy that I just like got yelled at by somebody else in the villa and everybody's mad at me. It should go and talk to other girls and get to know other people. Like I kind of would be irritated if that's the case.
But I don't know if that's the way she was trying to say it. It sounded like she was like trying to say, he could confide in the other girls. And she and Ekansu said, "No, I want him with me. He could tell me anything. Like, what about me makes it so that he can't tell me anything?" And I get it. Like, yes, he's supposed to be your partner, but it's also healthy to have other relationships, especially in that house. You need those other relationships to, as we see at the end, those relationships could have made or break what happens at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Definitely true. Hi, Luna J. Good evening. Hi, Danita. So Dina says she was saying it on a friend level, like how the other guys have created relationships with the ladies outside of their couplings. Yeah, but I think though maybe coming from Amber, and and Amber's been rolling her eyes at Ekansu. We've seen that,
Right.
and whether or not Ekansu has seen that, you're gonna feel when somebody has a weird vibe with you, and I think that that's also probably what's playing out is like that energy, the energy that Amber is giving off around Ekansu. She's picking up and she's kind of reacting to it, and so it seems like she's picking a fight, but I think Amber's energy is kind of instigating a fight a little bit Because like she says she's saying it like a friend, but she's kind of, in my opinion, saying it kind of bitchy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
I didn't see it that way only because I feel like it's a little more of the opposite. Like Ekansu has been kind of instigating, I think, in her verbiage rather than in her
I
physical
feel
presence.
like it's the retaliation in this particular situation. I do
Right.
agree. She, like look at her asking Davide that stuff last episode, and then
Yeah, that's
even
what I
asking
mean.
Jay. Like, I do agree with
I
you that,
think that's why Amber was saying what she was saying, and
but there's an energy though
yes.
from what I'm looking at how Amber is relaying this to Ekansu, that I
Mhm,
think that Ekansu is getting defensive and is kind of picking up on that and coming back at her. So I don't feel like
mhm,
it's the exact same thing as how she's kind of instigating things with other people. I
mhm,
feel like she's more reactionary with the vibes that Amber is giving me. Because if Amber was talking to me the way that she, like with the energy that she's giving Ekansu,
mhm,
I would kind of be like, I didn't really ask you your opinion. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I probably would be a little bit offended by it, but that's just me.
I just think that she walked in on a weird moment, and
That's
then
true. It was all
so
weird.
I just think it might have been a mutually weird moment rather than one over the
Luna
other.
says Ekansu saw the eye roll tonight. Yes, and
Oh,
she
she did.
called it out. And
She
so,
did.
like, it's that eye roll energy that Amber maybe she's been like giving off, and
Mhm,
that Ekansu reacted in that moment to maybe all the energy that Amber's been giving off lately.
mhm,
So Amber and Dammy go and they walk away. And so Amber is right there saying that she's so controlling. Like, I would never want to be with anybody as controlling as that. And she's like, am I controlling? And Dammy's like, well, I feel like you don't necessarily let yourself like open up and stuff like that. And I think that Amber is a beautiful woman and she's super fun. And I probably would like her if I met her in real life. But I didn't enjoy her this episode at all for the most part.
mm. I was actually fine with her from after this
I
one.
didn't like that conversation with Dammy.
After this conversation, this exact conversation, I was fine with her.
You didn't mind her?
Yeah.
I felt
I
that she
think she
was
was the
being a
most
little bit
honest.
standoffish.
I think she was the most honest that she's been on the show since the beginning.
I feel that Dammy was again trying, and I
Hmm.
feel like she was just kind of still being like, ugh,
No,
like,
that's why I said after this conversation, I feel like she was the most honest that she's
oh,
ever
okay.
been in it after this conversation because she's still not. I don't know what that blockage is because even then, she did say later, she's like, "Do you think he's like?" So I can't tell. Do you actually really like this guy? Because
No.
it doesn't feel like you like this guy, but then she's concerned that he's like pushing her away or like falling away from her, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not really giving him anything.
Like, not
Like
even a
you should
smile.
you
Like,
should
she
see
cringes.
parallels between you and Ikenna and India and Davy in this situation, and for some reason, she's not seeing it.
Hi, Persephone. So, haven't seen the episode yet, but I feel like Amber, who was my fave early on, comes off as really disliking Ekansu. In my opinion, eye rolls and little snips. I
Mhm,
agree. I agree. She's not a big fan of Ekansu. And do you know what? Sometimes when you don't like somebody, it's because you see in them something that you might be jealous of or that you would like to see in yourself. And Ekansu is really forward. She does really go for what she wants. Maybe it's not always in the right way, but she's willing to put herself out there for
mhm,
these guys in these relationships. And so I'm wondering if there's a little bit of jealousy of her ability to be that open and get connected with these guys that Amber is not willing to allow herself to do. So I'm wondering if that's also could be why she has a little bit of a problem with Ekansu.
I mean, it could be. I didn't think it was that. I think it's truly that Ekansu comes across as a game player personally because she does.
Well, I've definitely like in real life had like when I was younger, there'd
Mhm,
be like the girl that would get all the guys and like she'd be, talking to many guys all at the same time, whatever. And I'd be like, well, I'm such a better catch because like I would be committed to just one person and and like, but that other person gets all the guys. And so I'm wondering if it's still the same like what you're saying is that
mhm,
she's a bit of a game player, but she's still open. She's still putting herself out there, which it seems like Amber is not capable of doing.
mhm.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like I was always like, well, like why does she always get all the guys? You know what I mean? Like she's not even a
Mhm.
genuine person.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? And like
It's possible. I the only reason why I'm saying I'm kind of agreeing with the way Amber is viewing it is because the other girls seem to be viewing it the same way. I
that's
would
going to be a
feel,
group bullying thing, though. You know that that's going to kind of happen in
yeah,
those.
but I like Paige though. Like Paige doesn't seem like she's, because she was with Ekansu most of the time on what she was saying with Davide, but she also seemed to have an issue with some of the stuff that she's been doing as well.
Well, I don't really understand what she's been doing
Right.
that is so off-putting. And I could also see from Ekansu's perspective is that she's just going after what she wants.
I
And
mean,
the
she's
people that
lied
are
multiple
most
times.
complaining have not been going after what they want. And so, I don't know.
I don't know. She has lied and not been truthful about her situation
Yeah, that
more
one
than,
situation she did like but in real life she wouldn't have had to say that.
yeah.
And she wouldn't
But
have to.
that's the thing. They're not in real life, so they can only go by what their experience is on the show. And I just feel like I think they just think that she's manipulating whatever is going on, which it could come across like that to them sitting there in front of it, and to everybody else it's coming across, oh no, she's the only one that's actually going out there and putting herself out. Personally,
How does it
do I,
affect them is my question.
how does it affect them? It affects them because it creates a hot, kind of like a nasty atmosphere in, there was a whole night of yelling that it creates, and we know from other seasons when that stuff happens, it delays things, it keeps them up, they're not allowed to go to sleep, they're not allowed to do things that they would like to do for the evening because all this other drama is happening. So I, like I said, I'm not in the house to disagree with how they're perceiving things. I'm just saying that I can see where it would be annoying to have somebody like Ekansu in the house.
Well, annoying though, and then saying that she's a manipulative game player is kind of a different it's kind
I
of
mean,
two
it's a
different
game.
things.
I mean, but I think that's what, by annoying, that's what I mean. Like
Well,
she's manipulating the situation that they're in,
but okay, so but
which
you
is
could
a
say
game.
that about any of the bombshells, right?
No, I haven't seen that from anybody.
What about like Chloe last season?
Oh, you're talking about last season.
I'm just asking, like in general,
Do,
like with
do
the
I feel
intentions of
like Chloe was
bombshells.
manipulated?
What about like Mora?
Absolutely, Mara was very manipulative and a game player. And the same Chloe, I think maybe a little less,
Hmm.
maybe a little less. I don't. I feel like in the beginning she went after what she wanted, and she did kind of have to like fit a peg into a hole to get there. Um, but you know, when later on karma kind of bit her in the butt, I did not feel sorry for her.
For who?
Chloe,
Chloe?
for
Oh,
Chloe,
I
yeah.
did feel kind of sorry for her.
I did not feel sorry for her. I think she deserved
Well,
everything.
I liked when Hugo was going after Toby. I remember that. I was
Yeah,
like, "Go
yeah,
Hugo!" And
yeah,
people were
I was
so mad
not.
at Hugo.
I was.
So Adrian says, I hope Amber goes home. Me too. I'm not really vibing with her. So even if the group think here is that she's manipulative and that she needs to be burned at the stake, like I think that she is on a TV show. She's there to kind of go after for what she wants. I don't think that Davide handled that situation really in a mature way. You know, if we're talking about like maturity and people being mature and being honest with their feelings, he wasn't honest with his feelings in the beginning. So he could have, we could say that he was the catalyst of dishonesty, but we're not. And so, yeah, I still feel as though Ekansu's getting a little bit of the group think of the villa kind of picking on something to attack her at when it's not really that big of a deal that she lied to the guy about a kiss that she had with the new guy that came in. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I just see their perspective personally. Do I hope Amber goes home? Not really. Tasha could go for all I care.
Oh shit. Oh god.
Um, right now she's bringing just as much of a nothing.
That's true.
to the villa. At least Amber is having arguments. Tasha ain't even doing that, or in a relationship that I can root for. So, I mean,
I hear that. I hear that. Jessica says, I don't think that Amber likes Dammy. Not at all. Not at all. I think that she just wants to make sure her spot is secure.
mm-hmm,
But it's not. You know that her spot isn't secure is when the producers allow the audience
mm-hmm,
to dump people, right?
mm-hmm,
If the producers wanted a particular person to be saved
mm-hmm.
out of any of those people
They would have
there,
held off on the vote
exactly. They would
because
have
they
been
read
like,
the tweets, they see the comments, they know what's going on.
yeah, so they know that Amber's probably going to be dumped. And then if they let the Islanders say choose, like there's a possibility that Amber would be saved and
Right.
Ekansu would go, and they definitely do not want
Not like
Ekansu to
that.
be going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's why I do think that they allowed for the audience to take care of this situation.
Yeah.
If Ken and Amber go home, that would be a bad look. Definitely, Sam.
Exactly.
Sam, we know it's a bad look, but
Definitely
it's
a
probably
bad
what's
look.
going to happen.
I agree. Amber, season 5, Amber said she thinks it's Andrew and Amber.
Ooh, I mean,
And
that's fine by me.
and I would be fine with that. I would actually prefer that.
Tasha and Andrew. Oh,
But I would, yeah, I would prefer Tasha and Andrew.
that won't happen.
I know
Though,
that's not going to happen. But I would prefer if it was going to be that. I don't feel like it's fair to send Ikenna and Amber home. I feel like they need to figure out a way to keep one of them.
I definitely agree with you. I don't know if I will do that because it's very easy for them to let the Black people be dumped from the island.
Yeah.
And so I could see them letting them go for sure.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of like India starting to talk a little bit more about how she feels about Ikenna. And she's telling him that there's something missing. And, you know, the fact that you're not kissing me, like, hey, like you're not kissing me at night. Like, doesn't that worry you? And that's kind of what we've been saying this whole time. Like, wouldn't you, like, if you're dating someone or getting to know somebody new, like I was always a kissing bandit. Like I'd be like making out all over the place. Like it's a new relationship where like the kisses are all tingly still. Like,
yeah,
I would be worried.
They're so cute, but just it's not
separately
progressing.
They're cute separately. So Jessica says, I trust Paige and India called Ekin out already in the confessional. I don't think the girls are pulling it out of nowhere. I don't think they're pulling it out of nowhere, but I think that the dynamic with Amber, I think, is a little bit different. There's something else going on with that, just like how things kind of been going on between them. And we're going to get to it a little bit more this episode. Also, how do we know the girls are only talking about the situation with Davide? They might be talking about something. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
there could be other things going on.
Yeah.
That's really true. We don't have the full story. So yeah, I can agree with you with just how they're feeling. They have a better understanding of what's going on. So I can agree with that. So India tells the girls that the spark isn't there, and we're like, we knew the spark wasn't there from the day you made that face when you stepped beside him and being paired up with him by the audience. We knew the spark was not there. So Ikensu and Jay are having a conversation, and Jay, as much as I think that he really is perceptive, he picks up on the fact that Akinsu is not really vibing in the same way as she thinks with the other women. And so he says, like, how are you and the girls? It seems that Amber and Paige don't like you. And I was like, man, like, even if it's true, that's so harsh to hear from somebody. What do you think about how he kind of relate this to Akinsu?
He needs to stay out of women's business.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is my thing with Jay. Like, you don't always have to say it. And I like later, even his reasoning later kind of pissed me off. He's like, well, if I'm with somebody, I want them to be a well-regarded person with the people that they're around. And I get it, but you chose Ekansu.
Yeah.
And even somebody else said that. Like,
100%.
He's like, I don't want no drama. And I forget.
It's like, well, you started your relationship in drama.
Exactly. And that kind of lends to my theory back again that I think maybe he thought he could hop to Amber after this.
Will we ever know?
Will we ever know? I don't know. I could see Jay also going home too. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
You can
If
see who?
Jay,
Jay?
Jay also going home, only
Mm-mm,
because he's
not yet.
um. Well, it was the public vote, so
No, but I think that the producers would
would have changed it
change
then.
something.
Okay, because that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
I
The people don't like him. I was reading
mm,
Facebook and people don't like him.
if Facebook doesn't like you, that's a problem.
Yeah, people don't like him, and so
Facebook
that's
is powerful
yeah,
in these
yeah.
shows. Super powerful. Persephone totally agrees. Ekansu is
On a
putting on a
person.
production, right? But honestly, I think almost all of them are this season. Don't sense any authentic connections yet. Sadly, I agree with that. So it doesn't bother me that she's obvious. I guess I kind of agree with you, Persephone. Like I see that she's being a little bit wishy washy, a little bit two faced, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
like. But it doesn't bother me that much. But it could be because I'm a viewer. Maybe if I was in the house, I'd be like, get rid of this girl. But Jay said he's tired of the drama. Is ironic. He keeps starting the mess. Yeah, like if you don't want any drama, don't be telling the most drama-filled person that the girls don't like them. Like she's
And that's
obviously
why
going
I
to say
was
something.
like, stay out of women's business. Like, don't be a chatty patty. Like, come on. Like, what was that?
So we'll get back to this. So India talks to Dami next, and about Ikenna, which is also a little bit awkward from me watching. I was like, ooh, like talking about how the connection and the spark isn't there to Dami. Um, but I feel like this is also like just the beginning of them thinking about each other a little bit more in
Mm-hmm.
that way. Like now that she's kind of let him know that there's nothing really going on between me and Ikenna,
Mm-hmm.
like I think that it also opens the door for Dami to feel like there's possibility there. So
Mm-hmm.
as much as it was awkward, it's good for their relationship
Yeah,
potential.
I was concerned, and I will tell you the truth. I was concerned yesterday about all these, like, kind of, Dami, India, Icana, Amber conversations that were potentially coming up because, yes, India, I think, is very, very well liked in the house. Not in the house, by the
Villa.
public,
Mm-hmm.
but I know, and we know from last season, they will turn on her really quickly if they feel like she's getting something she doesn't deserve, or if she's not playing the game properly. So I was very concerned that she was going to be a lot more receptive to Demi um in her conversations with him. I was very happy with her this episode.
She was
She
great.
very she because he had already talked to Ikenna and knew that things were cut off. Do we know whether or not he said to Ikenna, I think I'm going to pursue her? We do not. But assuming he didn't, he did do the right thing by going to her and expressing those feelings. But I was happy that she said, well, obviously I'm still in a couple, we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do. He says he's going to think about it overnight, but yes, there is something here between us. Will I explore it? We'll have to see. And she kind of cut him off a little bit at Denise, and I was appreciated.
Well,
Appreciated that part
I
about
like also it like in her, I think she said it in their confessional talking about them having flirtatious banter.
her.
And
Yes,
this is what we're missing from all the couples. I want some damn
absolutely.
flirtatious banter. I
Yes,
want some chats. Like I want some teasing. I want like person like a vibe of a couple instead of just like, oh, like I like you, I
yeah,
like being with you, I like being with you, I like sitting down beside you and put my arm around you, I like, it's just like,
yeah.
okay, we get it. Like,
Yeah.
where's
I
the
mean, that's what
vibe of
we're
the
getting
couple?
from Tasha and Andrew. That's
Oh,
even what we're getting from Paige and Jacques. And I'm just
well,
like,
that's I was imitating Paige and Jacques.
like, this is not it, guys. That's why I'm like, I was hoping he was like going to be in the bottom, but he wasn't. And
You,
like,
oh,
like, I'm
well,
not
wait,
feeling
he was
most of
in
these
the bottom though. Jax
couples.
was in the bottom.
Jax was in the bottom.
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't he?
Yeah, I cannot. Jay and Andrew.
Andrew. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Jax was in the
That's
bottom.
what I'm
Sorry.
saying. I was
Sorry.
hoping that Jax was love being the bottom because I'm like not feeling it. And personally, I feel like Paige deserves more.
Yeah, I agree. Paige definitely deserves more. Do you think he might be dumped by the audience? Oh, not him. Sorry. It would be sorry. Never mind. Never mind. He's not up for it. Why? Why do
No,
we
I
like
don't get
him?
it. I think it's because he's getting residuals for Paige because people's like, oh, I hope she doesn't pick Jack in the beginning of the week. And I'm like, why? Like, what do you there is nothing there. You just want her to stay in the villa, which is fine. And yes, today they got a kiss, but I feel nothing. I feel nothing.
So the next scene was where the kind of the drama of the episode happened, we'll say, for the most part. We saw it building at the beginning of the episode with the tension between Ekin-Su and Amber. And
Mhm,
then it's kind of ballooning even more when Jay is getting in women's business. So obviously, Ekin-Su also is a person that wants to be liked. Like, regardless of her actions, like she doesn't want to be an outcast. She's willing to go and do what she wants, like go for what she wants, but she also does not want people to dislike her. So she does approach Amber, but I do feel that they already have this weird friction
right.
that they weren't at that point able to see eye to eye. And so Askinsu confronts her and is kind of like, I hear that you and Paige don't like me. And then it kind of blew up with being like, I think you're manipulating, or sorry, you're calculated. And then
Mhm,
all the other girls kind of come over, and then Gemma kind of pipes in. And I was kind of like, I don't know if that was the best move, Gemma, to be piping in, being like, well, we're coming here and saying this to you right now. And like, never feels good, even if she agrees with you or she's willing to see, your perspective. Having five other women come and yell at you about how they don't like you. So,
mhm,
like, I was feeling bad for Ekansu, even if she deserves all these opinions, because when it comes on like that, it does feel like bullying. It feels like the group comes together to all come and attack her, and she
mhm.
can't really defend herself because anything that they say, everybody's going to jump down her throat. So I was
Yeah.
actually feeling a little bit bad where, because it was started off as a one-on-one, and then it kind of became multiple people on one.
Um, okay, I can see that. I kind of did agree with Gemma because I felt it was fair. I think it was fairer to Amber for them to express right then and there that they also felt the same way. Because if they had just allowed
Let
Amber,
her to take the blame, all the blame. True,
yeah,
I can see that too.
yeah, that was the only thing. Because I was like, yeah, I understand it does look like they're attacking her, but that's why I kind of was okay with Gemma's particular statement
Maybe it
saying,
was the tone and
yeah,
like
it's
the
probably the
energy of
tone.
it.
Yeah, it was probably the
If
tone.
Gemma was just like isn't a little bit more of like a kind tone, just being
Yeah,
like, well, I think what Amber's just trying to say is that we're
right,
kind of all we're feeling that blah 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 blah.
right.
Like how Gemma was saying it would get somebody on the defense, I
Yeah.
feel. And I don't think that she would necessarily hear what was being said
Mhm.
from the way that it was being said. And I think Ekansu really likes Gemma and thinks of her like
Right.
as her little sister. And so I think that coming from her in that tone, I don't think that she would be receptive to what was being said. So,
Mhm.
I mean, but that's all like she's 19 years old. Like
I
she's
was
not
gonna
good.
say, yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, for a 19-year-old, I think she handled the situation
Decently,
probably
yep.
as best as possible,
Mhm.
considering the situation they were in, which is another reason why I was kind of giving her kudos. I'm still not on the Gemma train. Don't be mistaken. But I'm just saying that I kind of did understand her jumping in at that point.
Hi, Orla. How are you? Orla says, loving the breakdown by these two queens. Yes. Thanks for being here, Orla. Thank you for the compliment as well. Yes, I do like talking about the show has been good this season for having some good discussions. A lot of really interesting topics and like points and perspectives have been coming
Mhm.
out. So it has been very, very good for having content to talk about other than just people coupling up.
Yeah. I think what last season you were doing like maybe 4 episodes once, like at one point because it was so terrible.
Let's group them together.
Yeah,
Let's group them together,
yeah,
please.
exactly.
um, okay, so did I say this one already? Okay, so
Yes,
the
I did.
conversation No, the conversation that India and Ikenna were having this episode were the same ones that Dami and Amber should have been having. It seems that neither of them wants to cut the cord. Yeah, I think that they both want to stay on the show. I think they both know that there's a potential that they
Yeah,
might not find somebody else to couple up with.
yeah,
And I think that this is also why Dami is testing the waters a little bit with
mhm,
India,
yeah,
because he wants to know that if he does cut that cord
right,
with Amber, that he has somebody to fall back on, so that he's not just a single islander. So
yeah,
I think that that's kind of how the direction that they're both going in. They don't have
yeah,
someone to fall back on. If there was somebody that Amber was interested in the villa, I
hmm,
think that they would have maybe cut the cord sooner.
yeah. I think that's why I was okay. I understood him approaching India before having the conversation with Amber, because I do feel like he just wanted to make sure that it wasn't one-sided, cuz why leave the relationship you're in for something you're just going to not get something in that way again.
So Jessica says, "How do you all feel about Dami not breaking off with Amber? I feel like he wants to keep Amber on a string in case India doesn't like him. India broke it off, and Dami hasn't yet." Yeah, it's like I totally agree with
Yeah.
that he's keeping Amber just in case. And
Yeah.
so I think that we will see, well, Amber's probably
Mhm.
going home,
Mhm. Yeah.
so it'll be like it'll be easy for him to move on. I
Mhm.
am curious though if Ikenna did end up staying, if
Mhm.
he's going to have that conversation with Ikenna about wanting to pursue India.
I think once Amber's gone, it would be easier for him to have that conversation with McKenna. That being said, I understand that that's what he's doing, but I feel like that is also what Amber's doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's true.
So,
We're rooting for Paige as well, Persephone, but we're not rooting for Jax. I'm not, anyways. He's not funny enough. I know everybody's like, "Yeah, he's so funny." He had like one funny line, which is the fridge line. I pray the guys at Castlemore bring the heat, but the girls are always so loyal. I hope it's different this time. Well, it will be different if they bring in some
they
Ovies.
have to. I was gonna say they have to bring in some studs. I'm wondering if they're gonna put in uh paid Gemma's ex, that because if he's black, that would be a quality black man to put in his
Like, so
house.
are there going to be four people that are like, so Gemma's coupled up with Davide, then
Yes,
she has her ex-boyfriend in there,
yes,
she's seeing Luca,
yes.
and then Moore comes along and her ex-boyfriend's going to be part of this. Like,
A
come
good
on.
A good temptation. B, imagine if he just like ignores her and goes to somebody
I mean, that would be great.
else.
So Dan says, "I don't like Ekin-Su that much, but I hope she stays until Moore, because ever since she's entered the villa, there has always been drama in every episode." It's true.
Mhm.
Like, if Ekin-Su wasn't there, what would we be talking about?
Mhm.
She does.
Gemma
I mean,
and I don't want to.
you know what?
Gemma and I don't
Oh,
want
exactly.
to.
So before, when everybody's getting ready for bed, I thought this was sweet of Danica asking Ekin-Su if she was okay.
Mhm.
And Ekin-Su kind of relays that she feels like she's being attacked for her personality, and I can understand her feeling that, because
Mhm.
I don't know if she is. I'm not sure if her intentions are being to be malicious,
Mhm.
or if that's just how they're coming off. So I'm not sure of like if it's all calculated, or if it's just like this is what she thinks is going for what she wants, or if this is what she thinks that the producers want from her. And
Mhm.
so I'm not sure of her full intention. So I can understand her being hurt by people attacking her actions in the villa when she thinks it's just her personality. So I felt bad,
I
but I thought it was nice of Danica.
I
You don't
okay.
care for. I know you
I'm
don't
gonna
like her.
say something. I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna laugh. I kind of felt this conversation. She was like kind of cosplaying Faye last season, just like, oh well, these girls are not being authentic about their relationships, and all I'm trying to do is be myself. And I was just like, oh my god, no.
Hmm.
And so I get it, but I also felt like it was very ironic. She's telling this to Danica, who she was kind of like talking behind her back and attacking her for how her choices last episode. So it was just to me, the entire situation was kind of hilarious. I'm sorry, but that was my perspective. Why
That's
I
fun.
could not feel bad for her. I
Okay.
probably shouldn't, but I was just like, she sounds just like Faye right now, and I'm just thinking like, but a lot of this is probably of your own doing. And then it's hilarious because you were just talking about this girl and look at her, she's being a friend to you. And so it's kind of like maybe you need to learn that's what
Mm-hmm.
not to do going forward. But
You know what, when she watches it back, she might be able to see with the other women's perspective, and then
right,
also where she could maybe learn and change the way that she acts.
right,
So maybe in the because like even Faye has had a little bit of reflection and
right,
has been like, I see like kind of the error of my ways.
right, right, right.
So what did you think about the nighttime when Luca carries Gemma to the bed? I think that was her carrying into the bed, or
Something
him
about,
carrying
oh,
her.
it's just like us going into the hideaway. I'm like, please don't give them a hideaway. Please don't give them a hideaway.
I mean, I don't want to see I don't want
A
to see any of these
19,
people's hideaway. They're too young for me. But like a 19-year-old's hideaway, it's borderline problematic in my
don't do
opinion.
it. Don't do it. I'm asking. Don't do it. Please. Don't
They
do that.
and they're been getting a lot of complaints about the age differences with Gemma.
Hmm.
And she's a bit young to be on such a sexually forward show, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Um, Danica's 21, and she just seems so much more mature, and even she's young to me for being
She's
on
so
this
young.
show. Because like
Yes.
even today, well, we'll get to it, but she was talking to Davide, and I was like, oh, but he's still kind of just so old for
Yeah,
why.
like when he's 28, right? 7 years is quite a bit at this age.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
So the next morning, Ekansu is still kind of upset, obviously. How was your night? Someone asked. She's like, fine. Not really wanting to give anything, waiting for kind of an apology from everybody else. Now, remember, we got to remember, she's a Leo, and everybody else in this villa, most people, or the women anyways, are
Earth sign.
earth signs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're definitely going to have a different way of dealing with situations.
Mm-hmm.
And Ekansu always wanting the attention
That might
can
be
be
why, then.
off-putting,
That might be why. I'm on everybody else's side.
right? You're the same sign to them, and that's my opposite. So I feel like I understand Ekansu a little bit more because I have some planets in Leo.
Well,
B, it's my opposite.
I think my moon is in Leo, but
Okay, so that's good. So if you're
yeah,
getting like praise and the attention, it
yeah,
actually helps your emotional state.
yeah. And then
Um,
my rising is Sag.
oh, so you got lots of fire
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Um, but maybe it's the earthiness is not vibing with Ekansu's need for attention
yeah, yeah. I could see that.
because I don't like it doesn't bother me that much.
I'm not. I'm the same way. When people are just like attention seekers, you'll see me just sitting there and just that. I'm not an attention seeker. I'm just not. And so, but those are the people I'll usually kind of shy away from because of just like when it's negative attention, I don't want that stuff on me either.
It's
So,
true, but sometimes
yeah.
these Leos, they want the attention on them all the time. They want to be the center. They want to be the sun,
Yeah.
right? They want to shine bright. They want everybody to give them the applause.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around them, and that doesn't necessarily fly with everybody. Yes,
Yeah.
Persephone, it is a little bit icky. Hideaway with Gemma. It's too
Let's
young.
not do that.
Too young. It's gonna happen though.
I know.
So this is where we hear that Jay is talking to the guys in the morning and he doesn't want to feel ostracized by all the drama. Well, don't start it and don't pick Ekansu if you don't want drama. What was his
Uh,
sign? Did we figure that out again? I can't remember.
Jay, what was Jay? Oh crap! I said I just closed the page too.
Oh, sorry.
I saw
Um
it yesterday. Scorpio. Scorpio.
oh, see, that's funny that Scorpio doesn't want drama because Scorpio is a little bit dramatic.
Yeah. They say
Or
that,
can be, can be.
but again, that might be why he's doing it. He says he doesn't want drama, but he's starting all the drama.
And Ooh, like so fire and water, she might make him start making him angry, and he's gonna probably want to damper her fire, and
Yeah.
so they're not gonna do too well, I don't think.
I think after this vote, truthfully, if they make it past this vote, we might see a Chloe. Remember when Toby dumped Chloe because they were in the bottom, and
Mm,
we might see a bit of that happening because again, he says he wants to be well regarded.
yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, he wants to win the show. Like, no matter what, the common denominator that all his exes were saying is that he wants to win the show, or he plans on it. So
Imagine if Andrew goes home.
you don't. Maybe he's boring.
Yes, but then do you think he'll move to Tasha?
I mean, Tasha, she's also a Leo.
Ugh.
I don't know if that will work. Um. So yes, there was so much silence that was going on when Ekin-Su and Amber were both getting ready in the vanity room. And then eventually Amber kind of comes over and apologizes. And I thought the how she apologized was perfect for the situation. I thought Ekin-Su's response to it was really good in the situation. They didn't hug it out, but I do feel that they both handled it really well. And I was very happy that they did that. They didn't allow it to balloon any further. I feel like if anything happened in the future, they would be willing to maybe say something. So I'm happy that they had their issues, and hopefully this will be the end of it.
I
Well,
very much,
Amber's
like I
probably going
said,
home,
I
but
very much appreciated how Amber approached the situation personally because she was like, okay, like obviously there's some sort of, issue clouding. We can't even talk right now in this room. It's dead silent. She's like, let's talk. And she didn't have to. She could have just walked out the room and kept
mhm,
moving. She literally bit the bullet, had the conversation. She said she validated her own points,
mhm,
but didn't she didn't allow herself to be disrespected, and
mhm.
she didn't disrespect Ekin-Su so that she understood where she was coming from.
Absolutely. And Ekin-Su took back her kind of low blows that she kind of did to retaliate. She said, "I'm sorry that I retaliated in that way. That was wrong of me. I want to take that back." And
Mhm.
so I do think that they both handled it well, and I'm happy with that they were able to come to this sort of place.
I agree.
It was good. Good job, ladies.
Hmm.
So then we see Dammy tells Andrew about his talk with India, and that there's little fireworks going off when he has conversation with India. And I was happy that he's at least admitting that there's something there for him.
I was laughing. Did he tell him this can't go no further? Because
I
I was like, this is why he's not going to Jay because it's obvious that Jay can't keep his freaking mouth shut.
or the producers are like, "Can you have a conversation with Andrew because
Oh,
like
he's
nobody really
going
talks to
home.
him." Like this was Andrew's episode to talk to both Ikenna and Dammy,
Yeah.
and it was boring. But
Somebody said that they didn't understand why he was in the bottom because he's the most genuine boy, and I was like, what?
say that last bit again.
Somebody said on Facebook that they didn't understand why Andrew was in the bottom because he's the most genuine boy,
Oh my gosh.
and I was like, what?
Facebook, come on. Come on. He's so boring. Their relationship is so boring. I'm not into it at all. So India and Ikenna have a chat, and this is basically their breakup. She kind of says, she says it in a really kind way that maybe the connection isn't there, and maybe we need to like continue on the friendship route. And I do feel that his heart was broken a little bit. Like he understood, and like it wasn't a bad conversation,
Mhm.
but I think that he felt a little bit sad.
He did, and I think he's because even like when he had the conversation later, it felt like he's like, well, there's no animosity. We're still here. Like I don't think he knew how to. And again, remember, he's only been in like a
One relationship with
serious
Polly in high
relationship.
school.
Exactly, and I just don't think he knew how to approach going forward because I do think they genuinely have a great rapport and really like each other, and it just wasn't any spark there. And so I don't, if you don't know how to handle that, you kind of don't know how to. But I think this is to a good lesson for him, Uh,
Mhm.
like don't keep, if you're not feeling somebody, don't keep like going through the motions. Be clear about what you want so that you're not wasting their time, they're not wasting your time, and you can break off a relationship and be friends still going forward.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. So the second conversation that you're talking about is Ikenna goes and lays on the daybed, and Andrew goes in to join him. I'm just like, what's like Andrew's like the relationship guru now that him and Tasha have been in the
I
hideaway.
think that
Like,
means he's leaving. Bye, Andrew.
I don't think he's leaving. But it kind of does say it was a hard conversation, but it's good. We're good. Like, if the connection's not there, the connection's not there. And
Yes,
like they left it on a good note, which
yes.
is very good. Because some people would create a fight just to
Yeah,
make themselves not
that's the
feel
thing. Because
bad about
it's
it.
uncomfortable. You don't know how to handle it, and so it's the like. I think he understood that he wasn't really giving her anything. I mean, he could. It had to be an honesty he was having with himself at that
Hmm.
point, and she wasn't wrong. And she even said, "I still like you. We're still friends. We're not getting anywhere,
Yeah.
and that's okay. It's nothing against you, and it's nothing against me. It's just that's just not our journey right now."
And she even says, like in the real world, she wouldn't have let this go on for these 2 weeks,
Right,
which is kind of like what it seems like all the couples are doing. It's like they don't want to go home. They want to stay in the villa. So they're not really acting the way that they would act in the real world. And I know it's different circumstances, but they kind of have to act how they would in the real world if they want to find what they're actually looking for.
right.
A little bit. Cause like sometimes, yes, you want to stick it out a little bit, maybe, but
Mhm.
like she knew from he picked her that this spark wasn't there. Like the
Right,
initial attraction wasn't there. So I
probably.
thought she gave him plenty of time. 2 weeks is a long time to give somebody 24 hours a day to get to know them. And so she put in her due diligence, and she also tells Ekansu that she feels better. I think Andrew and Sasha were also there. I couldn't tell, but she was mostly speaking to Ekansu.
Hmm.
And I'm happy that she finally spoke her truth here
Truth,
and
yeah,
said, like, this, I'm not feeling this at this moment.
yeah,
Oh, poor little Ikenna. He feels like he's like my son. Like he's so young, and sweet, and like
yeah,
he has to learn eventually.
yeah. When he was standing at the end, I felt so bad for him. I really did. But
Mm. So Amber hates the smell of bread. Like I don't know. This is the second time that she talks about this. She also
she
hates.
keeps
Oh,
saying this, and I want to understand where she's coming from. Does she make bread at home often? Because
I'm
that's the
wondering.
only way. Because she keeps saying, it's not like fresh bread. It's like when you're making bread. I'm like, who's making bread that often, though?
Maybe like it's the yeast. Like she doesn't
Yeah,
like that
that's what
smell.
it sounded like. Like she's talking about like when they put the yeast and the bread together and then make it rise and all that stuff. And I'm like, then don't make bread.
Well, what could have happened? Because like I deal with it's like hypnosis and stuff like that. So sometimes there's weird things that make you have a repulsion to something.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking that maybe she got sick, like of eating bread, and that's like the smell that she remembers. So like for me, I may have told you this story before, but when I was about 2 years old in the daycare, I had strawberry flavored yogurt, and
Hmm.
I remember throwing up and was so sick for like 2 whole days. I was just like, I remember being sick, throwing up, throwing up, throwing up. And from that day forward, I just never had yogurt or especially strawberry flavored milk products. I just was
Hmm.
like, I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if it's some sort of like memory that she's having. She might not remember the actual memory, but some experience that she had when she was younger.
Yeah.
That smell reminds her of being like really, really sick. Because like I cannot smell yogurt without like projectile vomiting. Like I just
Mm.
like I can't do it.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
so
same
gross.
thing with me for nutmeg because my
Oh,
parents used to make porridge.
I know it porridge. It tastes so good.
Yeah, but they used to
Like
shovel
cornmeal.
it. Yes, cornmeal porridge. They used to shovel it down my throat because I never used to eat.
Oh, and you don't like
So,
it
and
now.
they put a lot of nutmeg in it. So,
Mm-hmm.
anytime there's nutmeg, even if it's like a pinch, I can taste it, and I hate it. So I won't eat nut. I like I'll have some things you have to put that pinch of nutmeg, but like my sister-in-law used to like throw nutmeg over all her pies, and I
Yeah.
can't do that. One time, my brother and her ex-boyfriend had brought home pies and was sweet potato pies and gave it to us, and then he says to us, because I didn't see the nutmeg on it. I says they're not making this. He's like, oh no, there's no nutmeg in it.
And you're
And
like, nope, there's not
okay.
Meg.
And then I cut a piece and tasted it, and sure enough, there was nutmeg in it. And I was like, nope. And so I gave it to my ex-husband. We're still married at the time, and he's like, what's the matter? I said, no, there's nutmeg in this. I can't eat it. And he's like, what are you talking about? He said that there was no nutmeg in it.
And
And
you're
I
like,
said,
I
no,
can
no,
taste
I
it.
can taste it. And do you know, I found out later that he was laughing at me behind my back to somebody else because he said, I told Tamika there was no nutmeg in the pie, and
Oh
there was
no,
nutmeg in it.
that's not
And I said
nice.
to my ex, I said, see, I knew I wasn't crazy. The first bite, I can taste it nearly always. Nearly always.
Well, so she must have had a similar traumatic experience with
Yeah.
something that smelled like bread, or something happened when that smell was around. Most likely, when you're a kid, something that made you feel sick,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I don't want to feel that sickness again. So I would like to hear the story, because it's the second time she doesn't like the smell of toast and she doesn't like the smell of bread. And maybe it's the toast too, because sometimes you get they give you like plain toast if you have a
Mm-hmm.
stomach ache, and so maybe she relates it with feeling sick and
Sick.
throwing up.
Okay. I can see
So
that. I can see
that's
that.
me psychoanalyzing the situation
I
and
was like,
poor
is bread
Amber.
in the UK bad? Like, do I need to be worried?
No, like crumpets are delicious, I think. I don't
Didn't
know.
she say she liked crumpets too?
Oh, I don't remember
They
actually.
had a whole conversation about crumpets, but I don't remember.
Crumpets, yeah, and raspberry jam is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Gemma
yeah,
likes. I like
yeah,
strawberry jam with my
yeah,
crumpets with butter.
yeah. It's so weird. Such a weird, weird thing to not like.
Yeah, you know what though? Okay, so I know we're talking about just bread, but like I used to work at this clothing store, and right next to it was a Subway sandwiches,
Oh, I
and
hate that.
everything smelled like the bun bread of the Subway sandwiches, that I can't actually go into a Subway ever again, and I will not eat their sandwiches anymore
I
because.
don't eat them. They're terrible.
But
I
like imagine the smell of that bread in
yeah,
all the clothes, and just like going like 9 to 5,
yeah,
smelling that bread smell, like.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, and
So
come to find out, at least in the U.S., their bread had plastic in it.
yeah, I think it does in Canada as well. I think I
Yeah,
heard that
yeah.
also. So I've got a text. It's going to be the lip service challenge that we kind of talked about already, the baby bird challenge. And they ran back and forth. They're spitting liquids into each other's mouths to fill up the martini glass. And Danica and Luca end up winning this one. She kind of was like, "Oh, you didn't want to talk to me, and now like we're vibing so well that we're able to win this challenge." And I was
Mhm.
just like, "Danica, like you're gonna get him mad again,
Yeah,
or like
yeah, yeah.
off
But
her."
apparently, who was it? Ekisu said it was her
What?
form of her lips.
What do you mean, Dan? Where in the UK are you from?
Oh, but they were
Crump.
talking about it.
Well, crumpets are kind of like an
Like
English
English
muffin,
muffin.
but it's just like one sided and it has like all the little holes in it. It's a little bit more chewy than an English muffin, like kind of more like a little bit doughy.
Hmm.
I don't know if doughy is the word, but like it's kind of like like an open face English muffin, but it's a little bit more like chewy, we'll say.
Hmm.
I don't know. The first time I had it was when I was in England, because my dad's side is from England, and so they used to make me crumpets and jam with my tea, my mint tea every day. I'd have that. Um,
Yeah, so Ekansu said it was Danica's form that like she noticed it and she said then she copied it and made them do it better. So yeah.
um, it was kind of funny that everybody thought that Ekansi was going to win that one. I'm just like, you guys are
And
so
what
mean.
Jay kept falling, I was dying laughing.
Yeah, Jay, like she's probably very competitive, and if he keeps on falling, I'd be like, "Arr, kill you." Oops, my computer is not plugged in. So Paige and Jacques are talking about, really, I enjoy my time with you. Oh, I enjoy my time with you. And do they really? I don't know. Is that when the
That
kiss happens?
conversation was dry.
Yeah, it was dry. No, this was before the kiss, so this was on the beanbag still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was before that conversation right after the challenge was so dry, and to me it was kind of like I don't understand how that led to the kiss later, except for that it just felt like he was like, I just got to do it.
Yeah, because he was saying, I don't know if it was in his, it might have been to the guys. Jacques was like, he's gonna try kissing Paige on the terrace tonight, and I was like, okay. Well, remember we're giving him some leeway, saying he's a Taurus, maybe he's trying to make it all romantic. So
Hmm.
I'll just still let him do his terrace kiss. So it's the nighttime now. We do like obviously the typical toast. Ikenna tells Dami, wait, what happened? Ikenna tells Danny, Jay, and Davide, "Welcome to the club." Oh, because he tells him that he broke up with India, and welcome to the club. So India tells Amber about how like about their breakup. I don't remember what Amber's response was though.
I don't either. It kind of felt like any of those kind of conversations revolving around them too. They weren't really showing us, so I don't really know if like she hinted to Amber something was going on between her and Dammy. I don't know what happened.
Didn't either, but I know that Persephone also eats crumpets and lived in England at one point and is Canadian. Yes, exactly. Um, Sans is from England too. Go to any store and you'll find crumpets where the bread is. Absolutely. So if you're not looking for it, maybe you won't notice it. It'll just probably look like a bag of English muffins. But I love a good crumpet. Maybe I'll go buy some crumpets today. I'm gonna have some crumpets and jam. Oh, I forgot that I was looking up Turkish delight.
Oh yeah, remember you
Remind
said
me,
to order
remind me of
it.
that.
Yeah, I gotta remind
So
you.
I'll buy some.
Yeah, terrible.
So Danica is talking to Davide, saying that she thinks that he's probably the hottest guy in the villa. Do you think she's just saying that because she realized that she picked the wrong person in Luca, and now she's trying to make a connection with Davide? I mean, I don't mind that she's doing it, but
Yeah. I do like Davide's hair better the way it is currently. So I can see that. I don't know. I just like I mean he's still kind of the same like dark features, muscular. So
he's
I can
good
see
looking.
it.
He's just
Yeah.
not my vibe.
He exactly. He's muscular, he's good looking. He's and she said she likes watching him work out, right? That I think that's what she mentioned. So I could see it. I just don't like it.
Agreed. I hear you. So Paige and Jacques are talking, and Paige, I feel, was waiting for the kiss here. So she kept on moving her hair out of her face and just kind of like wanting to being like ready for a kiss, but then the wind comes and then like her hair would just go all over her face, probably getting stuck in her lip gloss. But I
Hmm.
felt that she was waiting for the kiss, and it was a little bit awkward in that kiss way. But he does just take the initiative and pulls her in for a kiss when they're just sitting on the couch. So he didn't wait for the terrace. I wonder why, Paige.
I'm pretty sure the producers say, "No, y'all got to stay here. Don't wait for the terrace."
Kiss now. We're not setting
Because I
up
was like,
upstairs.
if they go up to the terrace, they got to run down for this. I got a taxi that's about to come. And I
That
was
is true.
like,
That nobody goes upstairs. We have to stay
yeah, I'm
downstairs
pretty sure
right
they
now.
told them nobody could go in the house.
You're totally right. Persephone said, "Oh my god, I bought a bunch of Turkish delight for my dad for Father's Day yesterday. It's his favorite."
My goodness.
Where did you get it, Persephone?
Oh,
Since you
she's
are in
in
Canada.
Canada too. So yes, ask love is she can point you towards it.
Yes, Janica's just saying that. She said the same thing to Jacques yesterday. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Jacques knew she was waiting for the kiss too, because she's just like, like it was so funny. So they do kiss. I couldn't tell if it was a good kiss or not. Finally that it's happened. I feel like everybody is very strange with how they end kisses. They just kind of like turn their head and then like cuddle in. And I'm like, there's no lingering moment. There's no
Because
like
it doesn't feel like
playfulness.
real kisses. Like it just feels like obligatory ones. Like
Mm.
there's no passion behind it, no flirting behind it. Like I will say, okay, we'll get to it, but like that conversation that Dammy and I can India had at the like right before the whole text day, I just felt like that whenever they kiss again, just from their
This is a
conversations,
build up,
yeah,
I think.
yeah,
right? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're almost there. No, we are there. So Dami does interrupt Danica and India. They were sitting having a chat, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I need some advice from India." So Danica leaves, and he sits
Why
down
did I
there.
love that? Why did I
It was
love
very cute. It was very cute.
it?
I liked it
Oh,
as well because, like, you know that he doesn't need advice from her. He just wants to spend some
right.
time with her and talk about them.
Yeah. And I liked
Um,
it. I liked Danica's reaction because she just literally sat down. She's like, I gotta move,
oh,
bro.
okay. And I don't know if there was any sort of like lead up, but he's like, "I want you in my bed." I was
Yeah.
like,
And even India was like, like, where'd this come from? I think based on her reaction, I don't think she realized how strongly he might have felt about them kind of moving forward
I
until that
think she liked
moment.
it though. I
Yeah,
think it
yeah,
got her
yeah,
excited.
yeah. I think so too.
And she looked really pretty last night. Her makeup was really
She
gorgeous.
did. She did.
And so like their whole conversation was basically like, yeah, I want to get to know you on that level. Yeah, I want to get to know you on that level. And this is how like the beginning of these relationships are supposed to kind of be. Like you're just waiting to get together, and so I'm happy that it looks like they're going to be moving in that direction to explore it at least, and they're both
Yeah,
willing, ready to explore it. He says he's gotten the sparks, and usually if somebody has the, you know, the tingles, the sparks, the butterflies, the other person usually has it. It's usually mutual. So
yeah.
I
I
am.
think it bodes well that he, as the man, is pursuing it because if she was pursuing it, I would be concerned, more concerned.
Wow, so Dad never knew that those were called crumpets.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
Maybe there's like a brand name that's typical to it, like kind of like how
Well, like
Kleenex
Thomas
is
English's
like,
muffin, like Thomas English's muffins, like we call it Thomas's sometimes, or
right.
I
So like
could
it
see it.
might have a brand name of crumpets that might be what you're more familiar with,
Right.
instead of like the generic name of like what it is, kind of
Crumpets.
like Kleenex or
Yeah.
Q-tips, things
Yeah.
that are like we know by their brand name. So maybe Jessica says, I agree. I start to see sparks more and more with India and Dami the more they talk. I also thought it was sweet how nervous
Yeah.
Dami seemed. Yes, it
Yeah.
was sweet. He
Was.
did seem nervous. I'm
Yeah.
totally, totally into this
Because
new
we
couple.
never even saw that with Amber. With Amber, he was always he was always sure. He was always like pursuant, like no hesitation, and he just wasn't getting any energy back from it. And this time he was like, "Oh my god!" Like, and I don't think it was about Amber. Like, you could literally say like you could see that he really wanted to make a good impression to her about what he wants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think he was just like, I'm going for it because I think it's like she's going to be receptive to what I'm saying.
Yep.
And he hasn't been getting that back and forth with Amber. And so it probably also feels good to like be honest and but be willing to take that risk with
Yep.
India.
Yep.
And I'm very happy for this. I really want to see how this progresses. I want to see if it makes her open up, and like I just want to see her laughing and having a good time, and like I want to see their vibes. So I'm very happy for their relationship. But the producers want to start some drama tonight, and they send a text over. I've got a text. Can everybody go to the fire pit? And they do. So the three boys with the fewest votes are going to be at risk from leaving the villa. So the three boys were Ikenna, Andrew, and Jay. And the three girls are Tasha, Amber, and Ekansu. So we pretty much thought that those were most likely the people. Maybe Tasha, we weren't sure if it was going to be Tasha or
Yeah,
not, but
but we did mention Tasha and Andrew after working it out a little bit. I mean, we pretty much were spot on with.
basically we were hoping for Jax, but like we
Yeah,
knew that it was probably going to be Jay. They don't know him that well, and they don't like
yeah,
Ekansu right now.
yeah.
So it's going to be in the hands of the public, this vote. So the bottom vote getters between the guys and the girls are going to be going home, dumped from the island. So Dan wants to know that in the comments of the latest Love Island post, everyone in the comments is saying Ekansu or Amber to go home for the girls and Ikenna to go home for the boys. What do you ladies think? I don't think that the producers will let Ekansu go because
Mhm.
since Ekansu got to the villa, it's been very entertaining. Like the stuff's been happening. Maybe we don't like some of her antics or her actions. Maybe it's rubbing some people the wrong way, but it is creating talking points. It is allowing for people to be doing things in the villa instead of just like laying down and saying like I like you. So
Mhm.
I don't think that they're going to let her go. I think Amber could very easily be the person that goes home for the ladies.
Mhm.
Um I don't think that they'll let Tasha go home right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
Um Ikenna, the reason why I think it could be Ikenna just because he hasn't been that lively, like from what they've shown us in on the main
In the
episode.
main show, on the main show, like you see his personality on Unseen Bits, and people barely watch that. So yeah, I I kind of hope that maybe Ikenna stays, but
I I
I just don't see it
I think
happening.
Amber and Ikenna are going to go home.
Yeah,
If we're
and
lucky,
it's
Amber and
very
Andrew will go home.
yeah, and it's very frustrating that the four people who have left the show were all Black people, and it's not cool. And
No, it's
I mean,
not.
even last season, that's exactly what happened. Like they got rid of people of color first
Mhm.
every single time, and it's not right. It's not right.
So someone was surprised to see Ekansu in the bottom. Yeah, a lot like Facebook has been kind of mad at her because they're team Davide. So I think
Mhm.
that that's why we're
Mhm.
seeing Ekansu in the bottom. And
Yeah.
then Jay is very new to the villa. So I
Mhm.
think that this
There
is
was
like
no reason to vote for both of them because there was no tie there. If she was with Davide, maybe.
that Davide would be in the bottom
No, 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 maybe they would have voted for her. Like if she
to stay.
had.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, I think that I think people are more team Davide, even though I'm not at all. And so I think that they don't like what she did to Davide,
Mhm.
and that's probably why she's going out, or it's like she's on the bottom. Danica wasn't up for the public vote because she only got there on Sunday. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't expect Danica to be up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, we
I thought
Danica
that
was
Jay
cool.
might also get an exemption here, just because is kind of new as well. Has he been through a vote? Yeah. Oh yeah, he just sat down from a vote, obviously with
Mhm.
I can sue. Ikenna definitely going. It's a shame, but he's not giving on the main show.
On the
Hmm.
main show. He has a lot of
He
personality. So he,
does.
he just there was no romantic connection, but to me, there's no romantic connection with half of the people that's there still. So it is what it is at this point.
It is
What
what
is
it.
Andrew giving? Explain that to me. Like,
Mm.
what's the difference between him and an Andrew?
I'd rather Ikenna over Andrew personally,
Same.
but I guess like they don't want to break up Tasha.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, and
But
maybe they don't
it's
have it.
obviously affecting her because
She's in the bottom.
she's in the bottom. But I did see people, like I said, somebody said Andrew's the most genuine. I'm like, where? But some people said they don't like Tasha because they think she's using Andrew.
She is, but it's the
I'm
game.
like, if anything, they're using each other. But
I
that's
100%. I don't think that he's that into her. Maybe he's into her more than she's into him, but I don't think
right,
it's like
right,
that much at
right.
all.
No,
Well, that's pretty much the end of this episode. Was there any points that we didn't talk about yet that you wanted to bring up?
no, I think we went through everything.
Shit, huh?
Yeah, I just, oof, this vote is gonna be annoying. Oh my God, did somebody say they were praying to see Luca at the bottom three? So was I. I kept saying,
Oh, did someone say that? I don't see that. Where?
oh, who is it?
Is it higher up?
Dan said it at 7:34.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I see it. I was praying to see Luke at the bottom three. It wasn't going to happen at
I
all.
kept saying, please say Luca, please say, because people do absolutely agree that he's being way crazy.
Yeah, like come on, just like let this girl breathe. Like, why are you so obsessed with this person?
Yeah,
Persephone says this is exciting. I feel like India is so underutilized on the show. She is,
I
and
agree.
I think that they could be an it couple if the spark is reciprocated from her when they have an opportunity to explore their relationship. I
He just
think that
can't mess up though.
she
He
he
cannot. Yeah,
I
he
don't think
can't.
he will. I feel like
I,
he's
yeah,
being pretty
I
good.
yeah. That's the only thing. I think they could be in the running if we jump off from now and they keep going. they definitely could be in the top. He just can't mess up. He can't. He has to understand that he's black and he's not allowed.
Oh, this is why San's response to that. I guess it popped up the comments. I didn't see them. So Danica says, I wonder if the ladies are going to feel some type of way that the three girls in the bottom were OGs and Danica wasn't, given that she just got there. And
If they've ever watched the show, then they should know that that's always a possibility because they've always done that.
But it was because Danica was given an exemption for this particular one. And lastly, everyone where I work likes Luca. I roll. Where do you work? On Facebook? You work Facebook?
I guess Chantel is right. We're stuck with Luca.
We're stuck with Luca. You know that we're Luca till the end. Luca till the end, Gemma till the end. Like, no doubt in my mind.
Listen, so this is my thing. Well, I don't know. This is my thing. So what's gonna happen? Amber and I kind of go home. There's only one dark-skinned black woman there. I mean, she's the only dark-skinned black woman that's there anyway. But Danica's not into black men. So any black man that comes in, they're going to continuously just fight for India. Which they're probably not going to bring in.
That's fine for me.
They're probably not going to be bringing in that many dark-skinned men, but I'm just saying it's still annoying. It's just annoying to me, the entire situation.
Well, we're going to have to figure out ways to become part of the casting department of these shows because we need more representation. And they are warming to Gemma? Sons, where do you work?
They are playing into the producer's plan here. Tell them to stop. Tell them to stop.
We don't want it. We don't want it. Well, thank you so much, Tamika, for being here, for us continuing this conversation about Love Island. It's always fun. Do you have anything going on that you want to share with the peoples?
No, I actually will hopefully be going to the UK at the end of summer, but before we get there, lots of Love Island.
No, like this, then USA.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my summer plans. Hopefully I can make it to the UK at the end of the summer to see my grandmother. My grandmother lives in London, right outside London. But yeah, so I'm oh yes. We haven't had one of those. We are due.
Like a Toby type mixed guy. Yeah.
Yes,
we will bring in a mixed boy. Have you heard the Rachel drama? Yes, we have heard the Rachel drama. Is there more? Or are you talking about just the Instagram live that some of the guys from her season were on, and they were making fun of her, and she was clapping back, like rightfully so?
Was there more drama? I mean, that was the only thing, and then her clapping back at the host of the show. That's all I've heard about Rachel. I haven't heard anything since that.
Well, if you have heard more, Dan, please put it either in the chat really quickly or put it in the comments box below. Well, thank you, Tamika, for being here. Thank you guys in the chat for joining in on this conversation. You guys always make it a lot of fun. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel as well as Entertainment in Color on YouTube and all other social media places. And like this video if you like it or don't like it. Please leave a comment about whether or not you think Luca and Gemma are going to make it to the end. I might have asked this already, but I want to know if you think that they're in for the long haul, because Tamika doesn't want to say it so, but I think 100% that both of them are going to be in that finale.
I have a question. Yeah. So if Davide is in the finale with somebody, Gemma is in the finale with somebody, Paige is in the finale with somebody, and India and Dami are in the finale, who do you think is winning?
Oh, it's going to be Gemma. Shit. You know it is.
Ugh, I'm grossed.
You know it is. You know it is. I mean, would you agree or disagree with that scenario that Tamika just posed here? Who do you think would win? Who do you think? 1000%, they are preordained finalists for sure. Exactly. Thank you, Sons. You guys make this review fabulous for us. So thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:15 Eastern to continue on this conversation about Love Island UK Season 8. Ciao, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.